Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, depending on your time zone. My name is Freight Train, and welcome to the Challenger Circuit presented by Tier Monster. Joining me will be Souza. How are you doing, man? We got some hype games getting ready to get casted.
And it's a nice way to wake up, in my opinion. It's been quite a while since we got the casting games together.
Yeah, since last CC, and me and you were on that EU train, and I'm back on board. Last week I was in the NA squad with Gourmizer. This week he will be joined by D6 tomorrow at 12:30 or 11:30, I should say, obviously. But today we're all worried about the EU, where we got New Game Plus versus Thy AI. Fans are coming through. Sylvanas and Thoth going to be eliminated off the board, not wanting to deal with that. Ratatasker is going to be the second ban for New Game Plus. And let's see what Thy AI has available for their ban.
The only weird ban I think that might come through is an cool ban against New Game Plus, as we do have two major Uul players after last week on the side of New Game Plus, Game Hunter and Replicas. Both very, very happy with the play that one here, but we're going to see the Khepri ban. Pretty standard ban here, and that's not really that surprising to kick the first game of the day off.
When Cabrakan, you know you're in EU when Cabrakan is the first pick. Wow. Now, okay, that is not something that you see every single day locked in first. New Game Plus, very confident in that, and they're going hard.
Good shot and as an aggressive supporter here too, and we could see it in the solo lane as well, so a nice flex pick to Kings off. That's going to be something that New Game Plus really favors in their draft, these flex pick.
I think that's what's important. Teams have to be able to do that. They have to be able to pick something and have the ability for it to be able to go someplace else. Whether that's going to be a solo Cabrakan or possibly even a jungle Cabrakan for Replicas. And who knows if we actually see it in the support role. So first picking something that can go into 3 specific positions, I don't dislike at all. I think it's a good option. But again, Cabrakan is just one of those guys you don't very often see at the top of your picks band screens, as Humbats is going to be the second selection for the AI. And, a good jungler, level 5 is obviously one of the best in the game. First couple levels, a little bit less, but, they can make do.
It's going to be nice for the AI, as they are really confident in their ability to look for these very, very early mid-game fights here. Try to skirmish around level 5, get some pickoffs, and start looking for those early objective claims here. Push into the jungle and get very, very aggressive around the 3 or 5 minute mark here. So I do like the Hunbat pick up here, alongside Poseidon as well. Going to be a nice combo that we're going to lock people down as well. All in all, I like where the AI is going with this draft, but Zeus locked in straight away for New Game Plus.
Well, they got a lot of combination potential here, and as you mentioned, the Uul are going to get locked in. That might be flex as well. You said Reppy likes to run it, Game Hunter obviously, so let's see where that decides to go, and that might change the banning strategy for the other squad, as they might think that's the ADC, and so on and so forth. But Cabrakan's got the walls, obviously, Zeus, Chain Lightning. It's a good combination with the Tremors. I like what's going on there. Just Cabrakan, whoever's running the Cabrakan has to be careful with Poseidon. If you're just going to sit there and slam jam the ground with Tremors, you might get Whirlpool Kraken to the face.
Which is part of the reason why I imagine we're going to see him in the solo lanes. So you don't have to worry about the Poseidon that often in the game. But at the same time, he could work quite nicely as an aggressive support, like I said earlier. So I'd personally just rather see him away from the Poseidon for a while.
I think that's the best option, is to keep him into the solo lane, or maybe the jungle for the ganks. With the blink, you're able to get in and kind of do some pop early damage, but that's another case. Fafnir is going to be the support though, locked in, as the rest of the bands. And well, you got rid of the Khepri, might as well go ahead and get rid of the Sylvanas since you've already got your support. Hercules is going to be eliminated for the other squad, and just a solid solo laner. That kind of does tell me that Cabrakan probably going into solo. Hercules a little bit of a difficult matchup, able to driving strike through and get that stun off.
It's a tough matchup for a lot of people in the solo lane here, so it's a solid one to take away here. Mir as well being banned away, likely targeting another flex guardian here that could be used in either support, jungle, or solo role. So I like the target here from DII, knowing how much New Game Plus loves their flexes and just targeting some of the flexier gods.
Yeah, Mir, I will tell you one thing. I have probably seen players do Ymir walls in the jungle better in season 4 since I have watched and spectated games than I have seen in a very, very long time. The Ymir play from a lot of these players has been very, very strong. As Izanami is going to be the ADC picked up, and then we see New Game Plus going back to another carry in Hui. So yeah, I mean, I'm guessing Uller is going to be ran by Reppy.
Yeah, that's probably going to be Reppy playing Uul jungle. He played it very, very well last week, actually. Had a pretty good wave clear early on in the game here. Let them flex him any lane they needed him to. Mid, solo, didn't really matter where they wanted to put him here. Had incredible kill potential when comboed with almost anybody in the game here. Hits a single axe stun, and you're pretty much dead to right. So I really like them running this Uul jungle here, and it's a really nice surprise and pocket pickup here, but teams got to start expecting this now.
So, I mean, you've got an individual stun from Uller. You've got an individual stun from Ui, which, takes 2 abilities, but that's fine. You got a Cabrakan that has 2 stuns on him. Then you've got Amaterasu, who's really, again, let's be honest, is more of an ult bot when it comes to the late game, and then has that movement speed, and she even has a silence. So a lot of individual crowd control for New Game Plus, which might help them out in some of these individual matchups, or if they're able to get picks in a 2v1 or a 3v2 scenario. As tiers being hovered over, we will see if that ends up being the selection for the solo lane. Not that bad of a pickup against the Cabrakan either. Yeah, so that is going to be the pickup tier. On paper, man, again, I'm kind of looking at, like New Game Plus's draft just a little bit. I think they're going to be able to pull this off. The two hunters with a lot of guard with the guardian and the warrior support, especially Ama in there.
I actually think we're going to see that trade to murder here. So that will be an Amaterasu support here. And that's a lot of physical damage, like you said here. So these towers are going to get absolutely destroyed. And Freight, you being, you're an ADC main, if I remember right as well. So how do you feel about like seeing a warrior support like an Amaterasu in the duo lane, if you ever see
So
one?
we had actually not to plug other stuff, but we did a little SPL retake show with me and a couple buddies, LHS and Goremizer, stuff like that. And honestly, we had Emilzi on, and Emilzi was like, Amaterasu support is extremely strong, especially with ADCs, as we do see a possible level 1 fight happening here by the duo side. And he said it was so big because Murder's going to be able to level the 1, auto attack the wave a couple times, get that debuff on the whole entire wave, and the ADC is going to be able to clear very easily, especially when the ADC is going bluestone at level 1. And that's kind of the trick right here, is to get that bluestone, get that debuff, get that out clear. And that's what makes Ama so strong early on, is that lane clear and the pressure that she gives in season 4.
That's true, true. And she is going to be that ult bot, like you mentioned in the draft, so she's not going to really be starved for money or stats, at least getting what she needs. You're getting that CDR, just get the ulti out faster and faster. So, all in all, I'm kind of seeing some merits just based off of the ideas here, but I want to see how it goes in play. And if you want to see somebody show it off for the first game, Murder is the man to go to here, as they take a little bit of damage here, but Joshi getting traded back on incredibly hard by Game Hunter.
Yeah, no, Josh has got obviously the boomerang auto attacks, which are very annoying to deal with. And, Izanami with that wave clear. She is getting that little nerf next week, so we'll see how her favor is there if it ends up continuing. But the minis will be taken on the left-hand side. So will the minis at the red buff, meaning level 2 for Joshi and Half Devil. But good recognition, obviously, Murder and Game Hunter on the left-hand side. Just going to shove this wave up as fast as possible and make sure that they hit level 2 as well. Actually, the whole red buff going to get taken, and I think Half Devil and crew know that, so they're just going to skip oracles and try to maybe meet him, as Repke's at the red buff and they're doing a full invade.
Half Devil going a little bit far forward here. They notice they're both there, and Half Devil just going to leap away from the action. This is going to be a full camp take from New Game Plus here, and they still got access to their own speed buff. I like to go from Dai to begin with, where they went for the buffs and then took red buff as soon as they saw they weren't being followed and that mid was shoved up. But at the same time, it made it a really risky decision, as we just saw New Game Plus use their push power and just rotate straight over to both buffs and steal them away here. We're going to see a bit of action as Murder and Game Hunter taking quite a bit of damage, but it's not going to be nearly enough to actually poke them down through these potions here.
Yeah, I mean, there it is. I was going to say there's also a meditation available, and bam, all of a sudden it gets popped. Repicos is now here. Josh has to use the dash to get away. There's the jump. Axe Stun's good. Half Devil's in trouble. Oh, the hail of arrows. A couple more autos, and he'll be gone. But he pops the meditation as well, and everyone will walk away fine, as Repicos makes a nice little level 3 gank attempt, and the two hunters showing that they got some combination potential.
Yeah, stealing some pretty important CDs away from Dai and New Game Plus here. Both Guardians did end up popping their meditation here, so they're going to be missing out on that. Now, we can also see New Game Plus safely walk over towards the purple buff and take it away. They're going to give it to Murder here.
Yeah, purple buff, obviously, if you don't know, it's a debuff, kind of like Void Shield. Going to give a little bit of a protection debuff, so it's kind of the typical meta is to go ahead and give it to the support if you can. Obviously, Game Hunter also has it, but when you get both of them, you might as well give it to the ADC for the 1v1 battles. That again, Murder taking the poke. This is it's kind of different now in season 4. We used to always start in season 3. It was always like, all right, we're gonna hang out in the solo side, we're gonna hang out in the mid side. Nowadays, it's like, all right, who in the duo lane is gonna get pushed in? What buffs are going to get taken? What's going to go happen? As we've spent most of the time in the duo lane, and let's see how everyone else is hanging around. Looks like blue buffs for the second time. Actually, the first blue buff for tier at 3 minutes in the game. That might be the first blue buff. That's the roughest thing about season 4. So is like solo laners not getting that buff sometimes for 3 minutes. That's a whole camp respawn timer. That hurts.
It's incredibly painful here. He is still holding a nice lead right now, level-wise, actually. He's up level on no numbers out there, so I do believe he has been getting most of the other major camps, just not his blue buff. But at the end of the day, I think he's going to be fine with that. Now he's got blue buff. He's going to have it at least go into this next fight here. And it gives him a chance to possibly get aggressive when the blue buff respawns for New Game Plus.
Yeah, I mean, they should have the timers, hopefully, as the speeds are now getting ready to spawn as well. The big one, though, obviously, the little elementals, they're getting ready to pop up, so we might see some fighting around this area. These guys have been the contention since they really were introduced in, the SPL or a while ago, as it looks like Rebound and crew will end up taking it. Nice knockback with the one from Poseidon, making sure Repicos can't get that distance. So that will be secured by red, and speed buff will be secured by them as well. And everyone kind of going back to the buffs. 4 minutes in the game, 0 kills on the board.
It's going to be a bit more of a slow start here. Unless you see an easy pick by Repicos, then nothing's really going to happen that much. We might see an attempt at like a murder combo with the Thunder ultimate, but really, I think Dai is going to have a little bit too much disengage and tankiness available for them to get caught out here in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, this is more of a Replicas obviously running this Uller jungle. We've seen Anderster. A few people have run this before to relative success. It's not bad. Uller jungle does work. It's a different beast, but it is available, and it's just one of those scenarios that this is not meant for. He's not a Ratatasker or a Thor where he's going to jump in and try to do something early on, as we do see the Oracles on the left hand side. At least one went the way of red, and wait, no, I don't see any sort of vision, so it looks like a split right there. Okay, that's actually really important.
Murder actually
Yeah.
got a shot off and stole one away from the looks of it.
Yeah, that's super key. Obviously, no free vision. That means for the boys of red, and the AI are going to have to go ahead and settle without both oracles and no free vision.
Well, yeah,
Good steal by murder.
They do actually have vision on the Gold Tree Pit. Actually,
Oh, they have an actual ward.
Yeah, an actual ward there, but that was a split from the looks of it here on the Oracle ward. So no ward there from them.
Yeah, I mean, positive. They get to go ahead and not, worry about at least giving the oracles up. I mean, again, the oracles and elementals are probably the two most contested new camps out there. Oracles give a lot of XP and gold. They're pretty tanky as well. I remember trying to fight them at like level 2 or 3, and I was like, "Oh, I'll go ahead and take these oracles out." Have you tried that yet, Sosa?
Catch you by surprise. Yeah, catch you by surprise. You're like, I got this easy. They're just harpies, right? And then all of a sudden, no, it's a bit difficult here. As Hestrix nearly taking a bit of poke here. We're seeing some just poke wars over his objectives here. And that side really wants to commit heavily to anything, right?
Well, it looks like the supports have finally made their way out of duo lane. The little baby boys and as the ADCs are going to now be lonely men, and they're going to go through their teenage years in pretty much in solo fashion as the supports have made their way over, and they'll be left alone for a good while. And we should see some good 3v3/4v4 action when these solo laners start rotating. And as I said, I mean, this is going to be a slow paced game. These guys not looking to give anyone an advantage. The positive thing is when you do play the game slowly, the first blood is a little less detrimental. At 7 minutes now, almost in a game, or 6.5 specifically, the first blood for 500 gold is big, but it's not nearly as big as it is in the first minute to 2 minutes.
So that means the big thing deciding these early leads is going to be who gets forced out of lane and who just gets pushed back enough to actually give pressure over to the other team. As New Game Plus has been kind of forced on the back foot by Dai, and they're really using their lane pressure quite successfully here.
Well, yeah, they have a 5. I mean, it's not a big gold lead, but you take a peek at the graphs. It is 600 gold plus about 800 experience. So, I mean, red does have a slight lead advantage here. It's nothing major by any means. Again, one gold fury. Yeah, I mean, one gold fury take or anything, one team fight that occurs. Obviously, that all swaps around. Repicos now hitting level 8 in the mid lane as the right hand solo lane is getting pushed up tier, looking for some buffs. He'll find a speed buff, but I don't know if he wants to necessarily try to aggress on this with Murder and Reppy here. He might make an attempt, and it looked like he got that with the power cleave. Yeah,
he does.
So he will. Oh, the Kraken is coming through as we are in slow-mo, and now we're going fast, and Murder is going to have to offensive dazzle his way out. Slam Jam coming through, no numbers, slamming around, trying to make sure nothing's going to occur. Meditation gets popped. Here's some more ultimates. The Fear No Evil Kiro, but the first blood goes to Half Devil. The second one goes to Murder. Estric falls on the way back. Repicos gets reward. Half Devil, they're all falling here in the back jungle.
Yeah, and the fight still continuing here as the rest of Dai are going to join the party here, rebound in the action as well. As it looks like Joshi has rotated too. Game Hunter a little bit behind him. We might look to see New Game Plus leap over the wall, but it'd be a little bit too risky here. No Numbers has eyes, and he's got his eyes on Rebound right now, who is going for his blue buff. No Numbers wants to protect his own claim there. Will chase him off and just go straight for his own blue buff here. But a 2-2 trade going in favor of Dai AI as they did secure first blood for themselves, and now easily securing these Fire Elementals.
The best thing about this, though, if you are looking at New Game Plus, you're like, oh, okay, honestly, New Game Plus might consider that a slight win, even though they gave up first blood, because both kills go on a Half Devil. It's the support player, not as big of a deal, especially for the 500 gold. Yeah, he'll obviously get his mark of the Vanguard going online right now. Amaterasu Murder, he's going for the height of the Urchin, getting ready to get those stacks early and often. Once that does get finished, it's going to be a very strong item. So really, New Game Plus isn't looking at that engagement as a total wash. Yeah, they gave up one kill. It was the first blood. They get the 2 for 2. Repicos got 1. So, I mean, they're looking at it not too bad.
it's not something to really start fretting over it here, as you lost one of the first major fights, but at the same time, it's close enough where you can say, it's not too huge of a deal.
That's
Which is
the
very
thing,
nice
yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, once you get that first blood, it's at near 10 minutes in the game. It's not the worst thing. Hestrix would have been nice to get that first blood on. He made a nice play on top of the Zeus right there, but unable to secure it. Half blood or half devil was able to half blood. I don't even know where I got that name from. Half devil able to go ahead and secure the first blood. So I'm just making up new player names as we go along.
I mean, somebody should pay you for that here, as you could be somebody who suggests names. I mean, Half Blood sounds like one of those pro names you would see in
It
Korea.
does. It says half blood does. Yeah, that's why I said it. So somebody can go ahead and take that if it's not available.
Well, Rebound pop cracking in the mid lane here. Is Murder still chasing him down? I don't think he can secure the kill here. Rebound, he's playing it safe and sound, and Rebound actually would have barely escaped with his life in mid lane after eating several ults to the face.
Well, Game Hunter's here. He might look for a cheeky wall bounce if he can find an angle, but now the back will end up occurring. Poseidon will end up finding his way back there, as now Game Hunter has to find his way out of the jungle. The 1v1 of the Hunters, Joshi versus Game Hunter. Ooh, the silence ultimate not going to connect. A great jump by Game Hunter, followed by another ultimate. The solo kill goes to Game Hunter, but the fight on the back end is going the way of Thy Eye, as Reward ends up getting a fearless person. Murder falls as well.
And Joshi may have lost the 1v1, but his team won the fight, and keeping the Hui out of the fight, keeping the Sunbreak actually being used in the middle of a difficult battle is huge for Dai right there. So I'd say even though Joshi went down, that was fairly good in favor of Dai there, just keeping Game Hunter tied up in that fight.
Ripikas is able to secure his speed buff. Nice use of the Uller abilities. Very, very quick to go ahead and pop off Hail of Arrows and the Blade of Arrows. Easy abilities. Yeah, like Game Hunter, he gets the solo kill. Obviously, he's got to feel good for his ego, and he'll also go ahead and secure the red buff. So he's doing pretty good here. He's feeling himself. But yeah, when the big AoE ultimate is used on a solo player versus the team fight, you're okay with that. It's like, all right, hey, I took that ulti. Yeah, I mean, it's when you get the 2 kills in the mid lane and you only drop 1, it's not that big of a deal. Joshi probably wants that back, to be honest, understanding that Hui still has his jump back. He'll obviously learn that lesson and try not to make that mistake again.
You gotta wait for those jumps from Ui if you want to go for the actual fight here. As we saw Game Hunter just powering through and just waiting the ultimate out and just jumping straight over here. And if that had connected, that could have possibly gone heavily in favor of Joshi. But once it
because it's not an instant pop.
Mm-hmm.
It's Izanami. Sometimes you forget. It's like it's just there and you can get out of it. It's not like a knock silence where you're not able to get out of it at first. It's a silence after the fact once it pops. So again, who we able to use that jump, able to get out of all that damage and negate that ultimate. So good play by Game Hunter. And again, Joshi, that's a lesson learned. He'll fix that.
Yeah, and either way, I do think Josh is going to look for just his farm here, as Joshi still holds a nice level here. He's only 1 level down on Game Hunter, which is solid, and he is clearing up this wave without Game Hunter around. So as long as the team can maybe look to pick off Game Hunter, this could start spilling in his favor here. We're seeing a bit of a vision war start to pop up around some of the major objectives here. Oracles were secured by New Game Plus there, so I have good control vision-wise of the Gold Fury pit too.
Yeah, Gold Fury is available. We haven't seen it actually started or really attempted. We've seen the Oracles obviously fought over a couple times, but at 12 minutes in the game, neither team looking to make that early objective push, which is a little bit surprising now. Last season, I used to sit there and say if you took a Gold Fury prior to like 10 minutes, it wasn't that big of a deal. But Gold Fury did get a little buff here in Season 4, and at 12 minutes and 27 seconds, it looks like Zeus and crew might want to start it, but Half Devil smells it out and says, all right, guys, you got to back up.
The big thing here is it looks like AI and New Game Plus have been playing very similar game plans to each other, and that includes very similar rotations. And unless you can actually get a good fight that gives you a solid advantage around this Gold Fury pit, it's a little bit too risky to really just go for it with a Hail Mary right now.
No, you don't want to go for the Hail Mary. There's no reason to. I mean, you're 13 minutes in the game. It's 3-4. Everything's fine. Again, you've got this interesting Uller jungle pick. You've got to let this develop. Reppy now hit level 12, which is a positive because you were looking for is you got to find these small power spike. Game Hunter. I was in the mid lane. Solo kill. Ooh, okay. Game Hunter on this ADC. Hui is turning it up, and that opens up the Gold Fury. His ultimate is down, but it looks like the Zeus ultimate is available, and well, they should be able to secure this.
And they should, especially with no numbers here in the fight as well. Going to dodge stone from Half Devil, so no Fafnir stun coming out as well. And that's
in Reppy
to get the kill here as Reprikas
zoning out the Poseidon. The unsung hero of that fight actually goes to Reprikas as he's going back to his speed buff, and I was kind of clicking back and forth. I don't know exactly where the production camera was at, but Gold Fury did get taken. I was kind of watching what Reppy was doing. Great job of keeping Poseidon in the tower in mid lane. Kraken was available. That was probably the only opportunity for a steal was Kraken, and obviously able to keep him away from that Gold Fury. Great job by Replicas there. His team secures it, and that's going to be, well, even though it ends up turning the game even pretty much.
It turns even, but there wasn't really much of a lead to begin with either. But it will prevent AI from starting to just bleed New Game Plus out, which is huge. It's going to give them enough time to just play however they want to here, which is honestly, like I said, it's huge. And I will want to see if AI can try to recover from this here. As we haven't really talked about this fray, what were their wings going to be with that lead? They were slightly just bleeding out.
You know, both of these teams, they've got different teams. Hestrix with a lot of trouble, forced to use the beads, half HP, and now all of a sudden in reward, he's going to go ahead and get the Fearless on Replicas, half HP himself now. So a couple players on the low end of things as they're just looking to clear everything out. Poseidon and Half Devil, Portal Demon started to get looked at, but with the rest of the crew here, not the best decision. Yeah, that's going to be like a
Rotation and meditation were called straight away by New Game Plus here. AI saw it coming, knew exactly what was going to happen. Good call, just back off immediately. Maybe
it's one of those like, hey, are they going to look at it? Are they going to come? You know, it's like if you're not going to show up, we'll do it. Yeah.
I think they were looking for like the bait or to see if they're actually going to respond. Maybe try to
find Game Hunter. Game Hunter on the left-hand side. Half Devil's going to jump, and Game Hunter is going to be in the air, and he's looking, and he'll kind of take the back end of things. Whirlpool, Kraken to the face. Well, Game Hunter didn't really have a place to go there. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, no place
and he didn't use his Aegis or his beads, understanding that he's probably dead.
Yeah, and Rearward, though, is still going to get caught out over here on the Portal Demon side. This should be a kill going the way of New Game Plus. While denying all escapes here. Is Caro the one to secure it? Now, this does set them up for a possible Portal Demon attempt and fight here, but New Game Plus evacuating on the other side of the map. Gonna look at that solo lane tower here as Joshi looking to reclaim some lost ground by getting away a red buff.
You know, I think one of the interesting things about the way the circuit is happening this year with the CC is that with this circuit style of the 4 teams, you know, they're able to do their homework, and you can kind of tell. This is obviously a more calculated game as Joshi is over here trying to make a gank attempt. Kiro's going to be forced to use the purification, and I guess he thought he was going to get silenced out there, and he'll be just fine as Joshi made the rotation. And now they are going to start the Portal Demon. Whirlpool, Kraken is not available. Here comes a teleport on the back end, but this Portal Demon will be secured. The global sound will be made, and all of a sudden now New Game Plus know they have to be wary.
And now we can easily expect rotations from AI around the map. They have solid control here. They've pulled up a 1k lead, and they're just looking to start shoving down these towers here. Start slowly but surely pressuring them out here. And I want to see where the first one they go for here. As we're 60 minutes in, we haven't seen a single tower fall yet.
No, we haven't seen anything really fall. I mean, we got the left one here on the dual lane. It's about half HP, and going on the other side, the solo lane, mid lane, they're all about half or a little bit less. We'll see where they end up going. But let's you know, I'm kind of looking around on the little items here. And Tier's got the Shield of Regrowth. He's got the Stone of Gaia. He's got a lot of health, but no defense right now as he's making the way into here. No numbers is in a bad spot. Hestrix, though, taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, murder on the chase here. The Aegis is popped, so that will keep him safe and sound. But Replicas with the snipe here. Hestrix did burn that Fear from the looks of it as well. So that is a down and out here. That will secure an escape for Hato for now. But how long is that going to be? Stunned to the face of no numbers here. And it looks like New Game Plus have found new prey here. Rebound rotating towards the Gold Fury pit, but Murder is there to catch him off guard. Silence is down and out. Mirror will deal quite a bit of damage here. Kraken hitting off center. There's a Replicas not taking that much out of it. Leaps forward, looking for the stun. Does connect, but the Sanctuary not needed here. Beads will keep him safe and sound. Murder with the flank, and Replicas snipes him down.
That was also a nice bounce by Game Hunter. Yeah, that's one of those little areas that you fight a lot in. And Game Hunter, obviously, on the Sui, very, very polished. It's probably the right word. He's obviously shown that he's played this character a lot, and you know he's got that ADC blood in him. He's played these crazy, you know, ADCs in the solo lane previously, and obviously he's got some carry experience. But yeah, nice bounce by him. Game Hunter, and this is what you were talking about earlier. You were like, hey, double hunters, these towers are going to fly down, but Murder forced to end up using the shell right here for his team. Here comes the Suns. They're zoning out Half Devil into the Dragon Ultimate, and it looks like everyone else is just trying to disengage as Tier is forced to ult backwards.
Yeah, forcing a lot of defensive ults there from AI. New Game Plus putting up the pressure and turning things up to 11 here. They should get this tower quite easily, as it's going to be very difficult for Joshi and Hestrix to defend against the double ADC composition here. Kiro also, he's now going to start rotating as well, trying to catch off Joshi and Hestrix, as they did stay, and overstay the welcome here. Fear no evil, forcing out Murder, but no numbers, and really deep here. Karo finds a detonate and gets the kill, silenced out by Izanami before she falls there, but Murder should be the one to go down as well. Finally falls to Rearward right there, but that's support for 2 kills and a tower. I think that's going to be worth it, unless we see more come out for AI here. and the back already goes through here. Game Hunter forcing a retreat for his team and keeping his team safe and sound. Whirlpool not going to kill anybody here as no numbers teleports back to the party as well. There's going to be nothing found for DIAI after that. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, I mean, they do find the one kill on the support. Murder, not going to be that big of a deal. Murder's already got 5 stacks of Hide of the Urchin. Kraken, though, on no numbers by the Gold Fury. He's going to get Fearless as well. The stun, he's got the return damage. The tremors are good. Rebound is in trouble. Replicas gets the kill. No numbers walking out with a quarter HP, still fine.
And this is the scary thing about New Game Plus's composition here. You think you catch no numbers. You think you're destroying him here, but then out of nowhere, it's all set up here. Yeah, they're going straight for the fight here. Gold Fury will catch the Lawbringer right there as now Rearward trapped on the wall. No number is going to punish them for leaving him alive. And this should be a secured Gold Fury unless Haskell makes a miracle happen. Hestrix and Joshi around, but it's going to be far too late. Gold Fury is destroyed by New Game Plus, and just like that, the momentum is going to swing so heavily in their favor here. 5,000 gold now separates these teams. 11 kills picked up, and about 15 minutes in, they started turning it up here. Now at 20, things are getting dangerous for the AI.
Yeah, it's this is getting to be that kill potential zone. All of a sudden, if this game gets any further out of control, I mean, let's take a quick peek at the graphs after that. Gold Fury, I mean, and the 2 tower will really, this was Game Hunter split pushing for a second. He gets a tier 1. Kiro ends up getting him tier 1. They fought on the left-hand side. They get a tier 2. That all leads to a rotation into the Gold Fury. I mean, this whole fight was going on for a while, and this has led to near 5,000 gold differential and a 6,000 XP lead as well. And that is going to be a bad situation for the boys in red, as blue team now is swinging in Game Hunter here on the right-hand side. They want more towers.
Yeah, there's actually about to ask where do they go from here, but I think they've already answered the force here. They're going to deadfall up, and they're going to go straight for the throat. Hestrix stunned out and forced to leap away here while catching him and destroying him with the ground and pound. Sanctuary will be forced out, leaving Hestrix running for dear life. Amaterasu will get the dazzling offensive here, stunning out Rearward, but Rearward is incredibly tanky. Kraken doing almost no damage to the front line right there. Yeah. And now New Game Plus looks so terrifying, pushing forward, 1 tower down, looking for more. No numbers can't be stopped right here, it seems, as Karo throwing down the shield, getting so many charges of the detonate available to him. And AI, they're not dying, they're being shoved away from everything they can defend here. And this is the scary thing about New Game Plus. They don't have to kill you. They just have to force you away, and then they're going to destroy your towers faster than you can even blink.
Oh, Hestrick, he wanted to take the 1v1. The Fear No Evil. Repicas is there. They're going back and forth, and Repi wants this back, but wisely will choose to not leap in danger as the rest of the squad was coming back up. Portal Demon, though, does go the way of the blue squad. Repi just needs to find his way out of here safely, and they should be able to back and attempt the Fire Giant. Possibly they do have a ward, so they'll know if they're being baited when they get ready to come through that Portal Demon or not.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see New Game Plus attempt a Fire Giant bait here. They know that DIAI are missing some very important ultimates here. We have no Dragon from Fafnir. Hestrix burned his Fear No Evil for that 1v1 and didn't even get the kill there. So, all in all, I think New Game Plus know what they're working with here, and they're going to try to just force out DIAI and force them into an engagement here that they can't win.
Well, right now they're kind of split up on the left-hand side as Die, and now they got the Oracles, but Repi and crew, there's the stun. This is the issue. Rearward, what are you doing? Look at this build. He has absolutely no protections from physicals when the whole squad is physicals. And all of a sudden, he is taking a bunch of damage. The solo later falls. Kiro gets another kill, and now the mid lane tower falls. Just not really a lot going on right there for the tier. The Stona guy, a bulwark. There's just, yeah.
I think the big thing he's looking for is maybe surviving diving onto Karo, but at the same time, like you said, most of the damage coming out is going to be physical here. Replicas and Game Hunter are just destroying him every chance they get, and now Murder just able to easily tank things up as well. It's just, it isn't working out very effectively.
I don't mind these 3 items. I mind them where they're bought at. It's one of those scenarios. Like if there was a Breastplate of Valor where the Shield of Regrowth was and everything else was to the right one, then he got the Shield of Regrowth, then he got maybe the Bulwarks, and then a Stona guy. Like I wouldn't mind. I guess I'm more upset with the order of things because again, he needs that physical defense online. You know, it's pretty brutal.
With the order he went for, he's unfortunately just a big slab of butter. I mean, it's just
and he's just getting melted. Yeah, I mean, Game Hunter and Repicas are just hot knives, and they're just going right through it as they're going to get the red buff now. They are really in the driver's seat here with a 10k gold lead, and this is crazy because this game at like what, 7 minutes was 2-2 or something like that. Now all of a sudden we're at 13-6. New Game Plus has just really just methodically driven their will into the way they want to run this game, and they were able to get the fights they wanted where they wanted them and able to come out on top.
And I think the big thing here is almost every player here on New Game Plus is a long time veteran here. Most of them
But
have
yeah,
FPL
Reppy,
experience.
we
Some of
know
them
all
have
these
like
guys,
major
yeah.
LAN experience here. This is a squad that knows their timings. They know their power spikes here. They have so much game knowledge in all of them here that they know exactly when they want to take everything they can, and they are punishing Die AI with that knowledge here, and it is beautiful to see.
Well, no numbers is going to go in. He's looking for Joshy. Purification is good by Joshy. No numbers, though. Got to watch out. He's taking a little bit of poke. He doesn't really have too much physical defense protections himself. Only the helm. He's looking to get that spirit robe, or that's going to be a Discord. Not sure what he's going to look to finish that up. But right now, New Game Plus, they got Fire Giant. They're looking to push up the mid and the left at the same time, which is always a good idea. Looking to go 4-1. One is going to be Game Hunter on the left. The other 4 will be in the mid. And let's see where they collide at.
I think we're going to see the actual first collision come here whenever somebody oversteps their boundaries, somebody tries to check into a jungle and maybe get a ward, or somebody just disrespects the damage potential here and falls. But we might see New Game Plus just wait for a few more cooldowns and then just force the issue on this Phoenix here. They are seeing Murder go straight into the action here. No numbers diving as well. Joshy destroyed by Krabrakan here. Will force away the Sanctuary. Joshy still getting chased down the wall is good, but he can teleport over to safety. Estrix, though, forced away as well. The Phoenix will fall. That's all they want to hear. No numbers hit by the Kraken, but he's still alive, and he's going nowhere near death here. We will see get the kill. No numbers
alive.
Once again cheats death here.
He's got a Wing Blade for 300 HP. He's got a Void Shield, Void Stone, I should say. He's got a Dynasty Blade helmet. That's really the only physical protections. Then he got this cloak, and, well, Murder's going to have some fun, too, and Rebound will end up falling right there. There goes Hestrix, and what's looking to be more than likely the final Phoenix, plus the game as well, heading over to the New Game Plus. Now, guys, if you're unfamiliar with the way the circuit is being run this year, it is a 2-game set similar to the SPL, so these two squads will face off one more time, but this is the end of the game at the 26-minute mark. It looks like New Game Plus do secure the victory 18-6, reading the final kills.
And one thing I do feel like mentioning here is the fact that last week when we saw Die AI going up against Optimus Gang, I believe, they had a very similar game one where they had a difficult time. New Game Plus played perfectly. Or in that case, Optimus Gang played a perfect early game, and they smashed Die AI. But then next game rolls around, Die AI, they pick a better game plan, they think things through, and they just are incredibly difficult to stop here. And they catch a lot more momentum in game two. So I guess my question is that going to happen again for them here? Are they going to find their stride in game two, or are we going to see New Game Plus once again go through to sweep a 2-0 series?
It's looking like a 2-0. Honestly, I like their first 10 minutes. I think afterwards there was a little bit of some issues going around, and if they can clean up the 10-minute after factor, they stand a chance at being a little bit better off. But hey, like you said, you're facing off against some veterans. The only thing you can do here is get better and learn. We'll see where Thai ends up getting off, and we'll get to the picks and bans in the next game here. We'll be right back with game number 2, guys. Stay tuned. Again, this is the Challenger Circuit, hosted by Tier Monster. My name's Freight Train. That's Soza. Keep continuing to join us. Bye. And welcome back to game number two. New game plus again versus Thy is our first set of the day. Well, New Game Plus took game number one in, again, after the first 10 minutes, it was interesting. And after about 15, it was relatively clean. So we'll see if they're able to pick up the pieces, Thy and make any changes in the draft and take a game off of the old SPL veterans here.
I think one question I have to ask here that I've seen in a few weeks here is the UL worth looking into dealing with, honestly? Or do you think you should just still stick to similar picks and bans? Maybe try to pick it away instead of banning it, or should they just ban it? Or just try to
You
deal with it?
cannot. I don't think you can ban away Ulder. I think you have to be good enough to be able to deal with. There's way too many S tier characters that are
Mm,
available in the jungle, like our Ratataskers we'll see here. Even the Cirquet. Again, realistically, understand that Repicas is pulling out this Ulder, and this isn't even one of his best characters, like Cirquet,
mm.
and you have the Hoombots and other Repicas is just a very mechanically gifted player, and he's able to play these characters very well, which is why he's able to do the Uller. But I don't think it's bannable. I think you just got to figure out a way to deal with it. As Susano, again, New Game Plus is going to go ahead and ban out. Thy go ahead and sticking out with a thought, but this time, well, no numbers was an issue on that Bracken,
Yeah,
and they don't want to deal with that.
that's an adaptation I really like here. No Numbers was a monster on Kabrakan here. He escaped death about 3, 4 times in almost every fight. He would dive in, completely crush the backline here. There's almost nothing AI's backline could do here. He even forced Joshi out in one of the biggest team fights of the game before he could even attempt to do anything here. So just taking away somebody who can bring up that much pressure is a smart
So,
idea, I feel.
so Thy is already changing. All right, okay, let's get the Kepri. We're having issues here. We're going to go ahead and go for the protections, with the shield, with Rising Dawn's protections. Then we have a revive as well for the burst damage coming out of Zeus. Or if Uller gets the axe stun and the combinations coming up, we know we have that availability. So I already like Thy's Guardian pickup from the Kepri. Fenrir is going to obviously give him a little bit of early game pressure that they're going to need. This should help out with the Uller. Now, obviously, Brutalize not going to be able to chase the Uller jump if it's available. Or he could get axe done. So this is going to be an interesting jungle matchup, but we'll see where that ends up leading. But Vulcan and Fafnir picked up as well before the bans.
Somebody who can get aggressive though for the Fenrir here, and Vulcan gonna be a bit slower, but not as mobile here. But at the same time, he's gonna bring tons of damage to the table here. You can fire off from the back line with your ultimate as well. So there's a lot of just potential here for AI's composition, in my opinion.
Well, next bands are getting ready to come on through. Let's see where they decide to go. Izanami was Joshi. It's an annoying character, so I definitely understand getting rid of it. So Izanami gonna be eliminated off the board. Hoombats though, taking Dai, are they not understanding that this Uller is going to go to Reppy? Like, this is what I mean by like the homework that you have to do, and this is
He's played
something
it in
that
the
like
past 3 games.
yeah, you have to understand that if you look at last week's set and you look at the set you just played, and this Uller gets picked, I don't know if the Hoombots is bannable, knowing that it's probably going to end up going to somebody else. The Hercules, obviously, it's a solo laner. You can go ahead and get rid of that, but the Hoombots is one of those bands that it's like, have you still not learned the lesson that this is a jungle Uller?
I think the big thing they're thinking about here is the fact that Game Hunter was the one who played Ul mostly on New Game Plus, going through relegations, leading up to the open bracket here, and leading actually into the Challenger circuit here. The one who played Ul the most was honestly Game Hunter, but now going into this, I think we're going to see Repicaz have his 4th game on Ul today.
And I think that's great for new game. The versatility, as we mentioned, having flex picks, and I think that's something that really a lot of these high quality SPL teams do is having the flexibility of putting certain gods in certain roles and positions. Look at Team Eager, able to put a lot of these guardians in the solo lane. They're able to go ahead and flex that pick for the warrior support. They do it very, very well in the SPL, and obviously, New Game Plus here is working on doing this ADC in the jungle, and it's working out for him. So this turns into a strength for them, as Honor is going to be the selection for Joshi, and Bastet will be. So it is probably going to be the Fenrir in the solo lane and the Bastet in the jungle, which would be a little bit okay. I can see what's going on here. All
I
right,
like how much
so
early pressure it's giving AI here,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I definitely think the on paper the draft is better for the eye. We'll see how it gets executed as we are getting ready to head into game. Everyone's pressing the space bar, they're jumping around, rebounds good. Hestrix, they're all happy, they're all go lucky. Let's see how they feel in about next 25, 30 minutes as this game ends afterwards, as we're gonna imagine it ends about 30 minutes. So that average game. But again, 1 game lead. New Game Plus has it. Vi has to get this game in order to keep the points up.
They want to get that split, so they're going to stay even with they're going to stay even with their opposition here and stay ahead of somebody possibly here. As now we are seeing the quick moves in the jungle. The big thing I want to talk about here is we said going out of the last game here that Naya had a very impressive first 10 minutes here. They're able to keep New Game Plus at an arm's length here and actually punish them in some fights here. They got first blood. The big thing I want to see is now they've got a very focused early game position here. Joshi actually caught out here in the jungle. That's a good stun. A second stun forcing out the purification. Joshi is going to get saved by half of body blocking here, but I mean, like I said, the big thing they really need here is they need this early game without the purification and AD carry. Not going to hurt as much in like the big skirmishes that we're going to see, but this could still make a lot of danger for this duo lane.
Well, then right-hand side, we did have Bologna, no numbers. Take a little bit of poke right there. A couple autos should be fine. This is the interesting season 4 is so interesting. Everyone's just kind of fighting early before before the minions even spawn. Like I said, Joshy's half HP, but that Capri shield should help out a little bit. He's also got some health bots. He went boost Death's Toll, so he should be okay as long as he doesn't take too much more poke or have to use those purifications. He'll be fine. It does look like this time around the speed buff will be secured here, and Hestrix and Rear are looking for the blue buff.
Yeah, they're looking for it, but it's going to be a little bit of time until they can find it here. They actually will manage to sneak back and take this one away. At the same time, we did see Die AI steal away the speed camp from, so you get the speed camp stolen away from them by New Game Plus here. As Rebound taking so much damage here in this mid lane, he's going to get pressured out by this comp, I feel.
Yeah, he's a Vulcan. I mean, that's just the definition of Vulcan.
I feel like there's no real way for him to actually be able to actively fight back here. He's going to be in a really tough spot. Yeah,
he's just the Vulcan. He's got backfire. That's the positive. At least he didn't go ahead and get turret because that just gets eliminated, and then he has no clear. So he's doing what he can. Now he's level 2. He'll have turret available. Looking back on the left-hand side, Murderer, Game Hunter looking to try to go ahead and get this big elemental, or not elemental, I should say purple buff camp, but not going to be able to get that. Again, both minis taken care of. A good job at least by the side of the II, able to go ahead and protect their big minion.
And that's going to be one of the more important ones. Going to give you going to give you like the most chunk of XP. Going to give you the buff, which is going to be nice for this laning phase. And they're going to secure their own red buff as well. However, New Game Plus taking away both of those will give them a very, very solid lead in XP, especially if they're able to secure their own camps without really worrying about anything being stolen, which they should be able to here, as there's not enough pressure on the map for Die AI to actively press into the jungle on this duo side of the map. So all in all, this is going very, very heavily in favor of New Game Plus. And honestly, look at the graphs already here. 2 minutes in, we're starting to see a pretty solid gold lead develop.
Well, that's actually a goal differential for Thy Eye. That's because of the right-hand side. They were able to get those camps, but the left-hand side does have the advantage. So most of this is on the solo lane side of things, and that's going to be on the Bastet and the Fenrir, where they were able to obviously get the speed or get the blue. And obviously, Kiro is level 5 right now for New Game Plus, so you got to watch out for anything going on in the mid lane. As Kepri, half devil, only level 3, no revive available. That's not good if you're the support.
How hard the duo and mid lane have been pressured out here. Duo, especially for half devil, there's not going to really be much resource for the support right now, and I think they're going to try to just get a little bit more XP funneled into him here. Start getting some camp splits with them, so that's honestly the best they can do for half devil right now, I feel.
You can tell what's going on. Look, this is something I look at a lot. Look at the consumable pots. Murder has 2 of his health pots available at 3 minutes in the game, whereas Half Devil has none. That's how much fighting they were doing, and that's how much little poke Murder was taking, who's now just hit level 5 as the elementals are up on the right-hand side as well. Repicasa and crew will go ahead and clean those up. More XP going toward them. Again, Thy have this slight gold lead that they were able to get early on, but the game's momentum is still being played toward New Game Plus. Murder over the wall, going to jump in. Rebounds in trouble. There's the ultimate coming out from Zeus, and we might be in slow-mo, but there's the fast forward to the death.
Yeah, fast forward to the death here. Hestrix doing his best to escape from this one here. New Game Plus playing this momentum incredibly well here. Same time, Rearward just getting crushed around by no numbers right now, but not really too much damage being taken here. And this should be a slow solo lane. We might see him try to run up the back, but it didn't quite connect with the shield slam there.
Well, I think I've got, let's see what we got going on here. Speed buff's going to get taken. Repicasa's got that. Hestrix is trying to get these back harpies. Repicasa is going to miss the axe, though. And, well, again, Hestrix forced the back.
Forced the back here. But now that New Game Plus has their lead here, Fred, I guess the big question is, what's going to be their main goal with the snowball here? And what's going to be the next big objective they should look for?
Well, Gold Fury with the Zeus when it comes back up, the ultimate from Kiro in 90 seconds or whatever that's going to be, as that's really going to be their biggest thing. So.
All right,
I actually just realized my spectator is like goofed up right now for a second. So Soza, give me a second here. I'm sorry.
No problem, no problem. As there really isn't too much going on here. Buffs are just being secured by their individual teams here. The AI going to make an attempt at stealing with this blue buff, but it does go the way of New Game Plus quite handily. No real issue here. We might see an attempt at an invade here as No Numbers does take a stun from rearward, jumping over the wall here, slows him out, looks to get a bit aggressive to force his way back into his own lane here, and Murder has a way around as well. The rest of New Game Plus gathering to defend the speed buff here, but Repicos alone, the root comes down. Repicos going to get bursted out, but that's not going to be a Ragnarok that connects. Speed buff will be secured by Die AI, but it looks like New Game Plus want to secure a team fight if at all possible here. Murder stuns out rearward here, leaping forward with the Eagles rally onto him, followed by another stun here. Murder comboing quite nicely, tossing out the chain lightning, bouncing Hestrix does connect on rearward.
That's the Kepri.
The Kepri save right there. What we were waiting for here. Half Devil tosses out the Meditate as well to keep his team alive and well. An attempted Rom Snipe does come through, but Game Hunter not tagging enough damage.
All right, we're back and kicking. I had the names backwards still, and I was really confused. I was like, wait a second, the names are all wrong. That's apologies. We got that settled up though. We're good to go. Oracle's on the left-hand side, get ready to get started up. And Gold Fury could possibly get looked at again. You do have Kiro's ultimate, but here's the bait. Honor did jump though on the left-hand side, but he left out of there in a hurry. Here comes just the rebound, purification use. Half Devil does not have an ult available, so he has to make sure but Murder's going hard.
And Murder going hard, and that's going to be just enough damage on the poison to take Murder picking up a kill for himself. The second kill of the game is New Game Plus just on a rampage right now here, forcing out all these objectives here. Not many kills. I mean, 2 kills at 6 minutes in, but they're getting every little objective after every engagement, it seems.
So this is the bad thing about having 2 games in a row versus the same squad. If you end up getting beaten game 1, sometimes that momentum can carry over from the other squad, and they're just kind of feeling themselves. They're like, you know what, let's kind of run back something similar. Let's do this, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden they're just kind of, they know what they're able to do. And that's the veteran presence from these guys that have been around for a while, like Repicos and in Murder. They're just able to take advantage of these small situations, and they've got themselves a 2K gold lead.
At the same time, I think it's a very, very important lesson here. There's a bit of a fight in the solo lane here. We'll see No Numbers actually getting poked up pretty hard by Rearward here. Can't quite find his way forward just enough, though, so that's just going to be a bit of a skirmish here. But Rearward should he'll secure his own minions here. But back to the topic I was saying here, I think this is just a very, very important lesson to going into SPL here. You need to be able to play in these series, or at least sets, versus these experienced teams here. You need to be able to keep your momentum, and you need to be able to disrupt the enemy team's momentum as best you can. That is a huge thing, and that's why I think this Challenger Circuit is a very important learning ground for these teams going forward in the relegations, actually.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing. I mean, it's obviously a big learning thing. See, like, small things like that. Like, I'm watching the solo lane. We were just kind of, I understand you're trying to clear the minions, and he's looking to back anyway. He's probably going to TP in. Just, he doesn't necessarily care about that damage if he's going to teleport back in. But in a normal case, I was like, is he not going to TP back in? He's just taking free poke for no reason. No Numbers has got a lead, and you can't really have those small things happen as New Game Plus is a good, strong squad. But with Gold Fury still on the board, I mean, they do have a way back into this if they can make sure they keep the vision, as Murder just warded over here. So if they can somehow get themselves a Gold Fury, I mean, they do have a Vulcan ultimate to help secure it.
The big thing is going to be make sure to deny every single Oracles from Die AI and preventing them from getting vision anywhere near Gold Fury. Maybe picking off Rebound here for the sure thing, but at this point, I don't think New Game Plus is going to want to go for anything that isn't a sure thing here. As No Number is taking a lot of damage from the Brutalize here. Going to just push back as much as they can. Stun does connect. Ragnarok coming down as well as Hestrix ready to set up the action here. No Number should fall. Eagles rally buys some time, but the bleed from Bastet finishes the job here. Hestrix picking up the first kill and putting Die AI on the board kill-wise.
Yep, that's going to be one for them. They needed that. The gank attempt does work. That time, Rearward is able to get the ultimate, and then Bastet helps out as well with the kitties. So, nice, clean kill for them. That's going to be one. Now they just got to go ahead and continue this momentum at the 9-minute mark and see where they can go ahead and push it. They're only down again about 2,000 gold. It's not the end of the world by any means. The XP, though, at near 3 is getting to be a little bit of an issue. And right now, who's this experience lead currently on? It's actually on Murder and Kiro. Yeah, so it's on the mid lane of the Zeus and Half Devil here by the mid lane Harpies, though. Forced to ult himself, and the snipe is good. Now, can he get the next couple? He has, the meditation. He had it lined up. Like, you knew he had it lined up. Like, Game Hunter had it ready, but the meditation too strong. And again, that's only a level 10 Rama with a Nick of all.
I'll still take that trade, though. That is going to be Meditation and Kefri Ultimate down here. It also forces Dai back, leading to possibly a free gold
This is
period
trouble.
here. There's
Yeah.
zero vision on the gold tree pit for Dai or even around it here. They have no idea what's happening. Well, they have to have some idea what's going to happen after that, knowing New Game Plus' penchant for pushing for these objectives here. So I'd imagine they have some idea of a timer, but seeing that happen, that is going to push a lot of pressure down on Dai.
This is going to be trouble now for the II. Now this lead has turned into something that's a little bit more annoying to deal with. Now we're at 4,000 experience, 3,200 gold at this point. Game Hunter is going ahead and trying to secure this tier, or he's going to try to protect this tier 1 by these minis. He's got his buffs. This is just... it's not looking good for the II with this early goal deficit. I mean, this is 10 minutes, and this is kind of a worse situation they were in last game.
At this point, they desperately need some kind of pick that can translate into a tower, or maybe like a portal even if it comes up here. Get some big objectives here. They're beyond the point of just kills being enough to get them back into the game at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Portal Demon, though, this might be something to get them back in. This was the mechanic that Hi-Rez implemented for a reason. Cats are used to go ahead and hell tank it up. Portal Demon should end up falling down. This is relatively free the whole time. As reward, will go ahead and give his life for it. But, you know, there's the global audio sound. Portal Demon does get taken. And that's going to be a positive, though, for the II. They'll lose one member. They'll get the Portal Demon. And, I mean, it's something. They needed to get
Better
something.
to lose your solo than to lose an objective here, at least. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
It's objective pressure here, giving them a nice bit of gold, giving them portal possibly for any ganks might want to attempt here. And it's going to slow New Game Plus down a little bit, which is huge here. They want to at least dull the momentum of New Game Plus right now, and that's one of the big things you get from taking away an objective and stealing it like.
Well, again, Hestrix and the rest of the squad just trying to find themselves a way back into this game now. Well, Bastet on this Hestrix, hey, he's still got a week available of backdooring, or a couple more days, right?
That's true.
Still got a few more days of backdooring left, as that is going to be changed next week based on the patch. So we will see if these cats end up coming into effect at level 12. We'll see if the Bastet decides to pick up the teleport. Getting ready to back down at level 11, so not quite getting that second relic. But Reward is taking a lot of damage. The Root's good by Half Devil. Nice job there. Kind of making sure that he's able to get his soul in or away and back underneath the tower. Oh, poor Joshy.
Caught out alone versus Stu. He's going to try to fight back here. Meditate will save the life of Game Hunter. Same for the Aegis, but a close call actually here. But Joshy's still going to fall and possibly lose his tower here if they want to off-take it. Looking around, they do spot that Dai is grouping in the soul lane here for a 3 versus 3 possibly, but this should be a secured duo lane tower to fall. Now the fight in the solo lane breaking out in full, though. We're going to see Reward attempting to catch on to No Numbers here, but No Numbers just such a huge threat right now. Reward jumps in, finds Karo, but the speeds are good here. No Numbers finishes the job. Eagles rally forward, stunning out 2 here. Replica snipes forward, gets his kill. Cats body blocking out No Numbers, preventing the push forward here. Hestrix should get away with that one thanks to his cats. But that's going to be 2 towers falling down across the map.
Yeah, the cats did work right there, able to obviously body block, but this is not, I mean, tier 2 falling on the left-hand side because my question is, where was Rebound? Rebound is in the middle of the map doing, look, where was he at? He was doing nothing in my opinion because he was in the mid lane. He didn't go right to help out solo. He didn't go left to help out the tier 2. He was just kind of doing a wave in mid lane, and that was just, you can't be, you got to protect something. Like, I understand what's going on. I understand the logic. Well, the fight on the left is gone because Joshy died. You know, the fight on the right ended up just getting wiped. So you kind of are in the middle of nowhere, but you got to make the choice earlier. And it's just one of those situations that, again, you get better with time, and you got to pull the trigger on making a decision whether you're going to go left or right.
Especially when we saw New Game Plus start setting up on both sides of the map here. We saw the 3 of them. We saw 3 of New Game Plus just grouped around over on the solo side here. And then we saw the flank coming through. Dai also had this thing coming around as well, since they had no idea where the support was here. So they had to at least have an idea of what was happening coming around here. And unfortunately, they couldn't quite find it here. Now, tier 1 tower being sieged. Joshy might make an attempt at a flank here. Leaps over the wall, knocks back for some safety here. As it looks like No Numbers just going in deep once again here. The man is a monster in the solo here, drawing out so much attention here. But
he's got thorns as well. He's just looking to take all. Yeah, he's just looking to take all the damage. Bludgeon's not going to really do anything. Rear Ward is chasing Game Hunter, but all right, so Game Hunter's going to use the Purification. He's going to say, you wanted to fight, big dog? Auto attacks to the face. Sanctuary used. Game Hunter's in the air. Let's see if he hits the snipes. Jump is good. 2 snipes missed. 3 snipes are missing as well. So Game Hunter will drop the kill, but tier 1 tower in the mid lane is going to get dropped, so all is good.
Yeah, and I think the big thing about that center from Rearward was just trying to keep Game Hunter out of the fight so they wouldn't really get as much out of the tower push here.
But they have another Hunter.
Yeah, that tower would have been, like, they have another Hunter there. But if Game Hunter had been there, that tower would have been just snapped, dead. And then they would have been pressuring on that tier 2 here. I think it bought enough time, but it still was just very painful there as he just didn't have any follow-up there. We saw what happens, especially if the Purification was used, which it was there. It's just going to be an instant turn from Game Hunter and a possible death. It is a good thing that Rearward was able to escape from that, though.
So Game Hunter went with a, maybe another reason why he's doing so much damage is we have the left-hand side. Gold Fury getting started by the blue squad. They're trying to force this situation, and Half Devil forced to use the ultimate on top of himself. And I get it. You're in a bad spot. You just lost another tower. Tier 2 obviously gone. Eagles Rally used on the back end. Rear Ward is just pushing so far up. He's got a couple stacks of detonate on him, and boom! Kiro is going to go ahead and clean up that kill as well. Just at this point, it looks like Thy might be a little bit inside their own heads here, a little discombobulated as now Hestrick is going in alone, and Kiro will end up getting that kill. Joshi cleans up 1, but I doubt he ends up getting away, and Replikas does clean that up.
He does get cleaned up there. We did see an Earthshaker come out a little bit earlier. They're not going to be used for the Gold Fury here, but it will be enough to actually force New Game Plus away from the Gold Furies. So a lot of sacrifice there. They only picked Karo off 3 for 1. They saved the Gold Fury, though, but I'm not quite sure if it's worth it at that point.
Yeah, we'll see if it's worth it. Let's take a look at the graphs and see what's going on. I mean, at 9,500 experience and 7,000 gold, you got to find a way back into the game, and right now it's super difficult to find a way back into this, especially when you're dealing with good players. If you're playing against a bad team, finding a way back into the game is way easier. Way easier, obviously, but when you're going against a good team like New Game Plus, it's so difficult because right now they are so far ahead and they're fighting as a team very, very well. No Numbers has got a lead. Everyone's got a lead. And again, the 2v1 on the right-hand side, there's the Thorns, there's the Cats, and, well, another ultimate not going to – Ragnarok did not happen?
Purification, I
believe. He doesn't have Purification. Stone of Gaia! You can't get pulled!
I did not notice that.
I didn't even know that Fenrir Ultimate counted as that. I just learned something today. Okay, thank you, No Numbers, for teaching me something. I didn't know. I was like, he went pure. Yeah, I saw the gold Purification light up.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, he doesn't have Purification though, and I see the Stone of Gaia countdown. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that Stone of Gaia did that. That's cool.
I did not know that worked for Ragnarok. That's actually a really nice thing to learn here. But at the same time, yeah, like that's why it was done for, I guess.
Yeah, hey, I mean, that is a item that counters Fenrir in the solo lane, and now that is known, again, sometimes there's, weird mechanics. Like, I didn't realize that counted as like a pull or a grab, and No Numbers, again, being Gope under tower, 2v1. He's had this pretty much all day. Normally, he's been okay, but this will be the second time that he's fallen after he used everything. But now here comes Kiro and squad, super low. The snipes are good, stopping Rewards back, and Hestrick is here. I think they're both going to fall, honestly.
Yeah, he dodged as best he could for a lot of the overhead snipes here, but he just couldn't find his way out. We will see Hestrick's escape from the action, though. That's the good thing there, as New Game Plus putting the pressure up now, looking for this last standing Tier 2 tower on the solo side here. Then they're going to make the rotation over the middle and just choke this game out even further here. That AI, though, this is a pretty important moment for them here. If they can keep fighting back or learn how to play from behind, is huge. Earthshaker going to miss completely there. That's going to be a tower taken away. Now, they need to find the way out of this fight.
Yeah, Tier 2 tower goes down. Only one more remaining. Fire Giant might be the objective, as Kiro does have ultimate. So does No Numbers. So does Murder. So they should be able to burn down this FG if they want. Instead, it looks like to be Bates, as they're looking to go ahead and get something set up. Game Hunter and Squad are here. Half Devil and Hestrix are just kind of running around, and, well, they're going to meet each other in the mid lane.
They're going to speed up there. And at this point, I think that was New Game Plus just trying to check out the response time from Dai. I want you to know here, you know how to fight back here. As we see Cats come out here, rearward will pull Murder into the fight here, but that's the ultimate coming from Zeus here. Thunder doing a lot of damage. Hackle going to be forced away from the
Just a
action.
split fight, though.
He's getting completely melted here, but the split fight not going really in favor of
Yeah.
anybody there.
Yeah, the split fight, honestly, I think it favors Zai because, you know, Eagles Rally got used on the left, Thunder got used on the right, or in the middle, I should say. Kiro forced the beads out. Good use of the pillar right there. Knock up Aegis. All Aglix down. There goes Rebound. He got the kill. Okay, here's one. New Game Plus, though, does get the Gold Fury while that is happening. So, well, why I thought New Game Plus was maybe on the ropes for 1 second, the whole time it was really just, hey, Kiro, you go die while we get Gold Fury.
It's really going in favor of New Game Plus with that one here. But at the same time, that AI getting at least something is going to be huge for them, and it's just trying to slow things out here. Unfortunately, it's not enough when your enemy team steals away the gold tree while it's happening here. Rebound now caught out alone in the dark. Good save by Josh there. Now rearward going in deep. They want to get more action here. They want to get as much as they can. No numbers will be kept safe by that Stone of Gaia here. Stunned out by rearward. Now they're going to keep pushing forward, but he's so incredibly tanky here. Rebound takes a lot of damage from the no numbers there. Now pillar to block the pursuit from Game Hunter. This should be a secured escape for, well, New Game Plus possibly here, unless that's want to keep sniping like that.
Well, Hestrick at least gets his speed buff positive for the jungler, but with only one tier 2 tower available, they really got no map control at all. Again, as they got to be on the back foot here. Fire Giant, again, is available at any point in time. They got to get some vision on there if they want to make sure to secure it, or at least attempt to defend it, I should say.
So, right, one of the big things we talk about here is after about 10k, usually the game is out of your hands at this point here. So what is AI going to be really relying on to have from New Game Plus? What kind of mistake do they have to be in position to punish?
Oh, they have to get knocked out by the Fire Giant and pretty much just lose the FG. I mean, Replica, somebody here has to go ahead and mess up the Fire Giant, and on her ultimate has to be able to steal it. Vulcan is a huge threat. I mean, I know he's level 16, but really, Kiro's only 17. Damage-wise, Book of Thoth is there. It's getting stacked now. We have an E-Staff, Pen Boots. Both builds are going to be doing a lot of damage as the Fire Giant is already at half HP. Oh my goodness, a quarter. And I didn't even get to finish the sentence and it was done in a minute. Well, that was the opportunity, was an Earth Shatter to go ahead and steal, and Rebound and Crew were nowhere near it.
Unfortunately here, New Game Plus just has complete vision control.
Yeah, look at all those wards. That is
complete control of this jungle right here. This no longer belongs to Dai.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wards right there by the Fire Giant pit as the mid tower is now going to get sieged up. It's the last one available. Let's go ahead and weaken that Titan as much as possible. No towers available at all. Only the Phoenix is remaining. New Game Plus is on a roll.
Yeah, get the sure thing to win this game here. As now Joshi being pressured out by no numbers. The man constantly just lives in the back line of these fights here. Stunned onto rearward from Murder here as Repicos will secure the kill with that hail of arrows. Now up in the air, Game Hunter gets that snipe kill onto Half Devil. This should be the end of the action as Rebound stunned out and murdered by no numbers here. Rebound is taking that death time here. Hestrix sits in base here. Joshi almost falls to that last hail of arrows as well as the first Phoenix falls. I think AI might just be out of luck here as New Game Plus looking to just end it now here. Titan will start to drop. There's only 2 left who can defend it here. Hestrix leaps in. They're going for the Hail Mary on the side of AI, but it's not going to be nearly enough here. This Titan should fall as no numbers finishes the job on Joshi here. Hestrix is going to fall to Repicos, taking the final shot there with that leap. And a deicide to end the action is New Game Plus going to take the series 2-0.
Well, it all comes down to lessons that can be learned for Thy. I hope they go ahead and obviously take a look at the VODs and see where games 1 and 2 went a little wrong. Game 1 was obviously much closer than Game 2. I think Game 2, that momentum from the win really helped New Game Plus understand what they needed to do in the early game. As again, Thai's first 10 minutes were really good in Game 1, to be honest. And if they can keep that type of execution up and work on that type of those plays, they should be able to maintain themselves and get some wins here in the Challenger Circuit. But none today, as they do take an 0-2 spill to New Game Plus. But that's kind of to be expected when you look at the squad they're facing.
True, but like I said, this just has to be a learning experience for them here, as that is what the Challenger Circuit is mostly going to be for now. As AI, unfortunately, will take the loss 2-0 here. They did split last week, so they are sitting fine on points here. But where they sit in the standings remains to be seen here. As we've got one more game here, we've got Deserted facing off against the Office Gang.
I am ready to go ahead and get it watched. We're going to take a short break, guys, so stay tuned. Hope you're liking everything, and we will be right back.
Can't try to forget that you were here. Some part of me wants to disappear with you. My soul and all that I could So we gonna fall into what you explore.
All right, guys, and welcome back. Sorry about that quick little technical delay. We are working on things. And again, good morning if you're still in NA, as it is 11:54 a.m. Good afternoon for the EU boys and girls that are out there watching. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon. Optimus Gang versus Deserted is the second set of this afternoon for you all. Well, what are your thoughts early on about this one, Souza?
To say a little bit earlier, I think Deserted is going to be very, very hungry for some wins after last week here. They put up a very impressive early game in their first game versus New Game Plus here, but as we saw, New Game Plus is still the team to beat in this European Challengers League here. So I think Deserted are going to want to show that it was just against the New Game Plus that they struggled against here. And now, if they can beat down Optimus Gang, who put up a really, I think, a perfect game almost versus Die AI last week, that's going to be a good way to show that you are a team to look out for as well.
Well, New Game Plus obviously probably going to be the cream of the crop right now. They're looking really strong when it comes to things. Bans coming out. Thoth is still going to be a number one mage getting banned out here. They don't want to deal with it. Susanoo also going to be taken out by Deserted. On the other side of things, we're gonna see the Hoonbots banned out first, which is really interesting. Ratatasker is definitely typically a ban you normally see, though.
I like it actually here because on Deserted right here, it looks like they're still using All Hail Muppets on their roster here, and All Hail Muppets is a sub here. He played jungle last week here, where Gorgonzola played mid, and he was a very impressive Hoonbots in the 2 games we saw him in. However, Hoonbots has been shown to be one of his more comfortable gods here, and forcing him off of the Hoonbots to play something a bit more uncomfortable for him possibly, or at least force him to play something with a team that he may or may not have practiced in an actual competitive setting, that's a really solid ban strategy, I feel. Target
So that's
sub,
obviously going back to doing the homework. Like you said, they know that there's a sub in there. They know All Hell Muppets is going to be jungling. So this is more of a direct ban toward his comfort pick. So
target the sub and make him
makes
more of a
complete sense then to go ahead and ban out the Hoonbots. I like it from Optimus Gang. Let's see where else their picks and ban phase leads them to. Deserted, they're going to go with the Poseidon Uller combination. Uller heavily favored in the EU meta right now, everybody. I mean, it's on jungle for Repicas. We'll see where this one goes. I doubt we will see it in the jungle for Deserted, but Apollo going to be the selection here. And the good old buddy Hercules going to be picked up before the last banning phase pops up. This does give Deserted an opportunity to counterpick the solo laner. Maybe they want to go with, I don't know, the Osiris for anti-heals or something crazy, or maybe they want to go with something with simple clear to not get poked out too much, but they will have the solo lane counter pickup.
Considering the fact that Big SB will be playing the one of the solo lane here, I think we're going to see them get one of his more comfortable picks here, possibly a tier if it stays available. I don't think we'll see the Osiris. We might see a Bologna. She seems to have done very well versus Hercules in past matches we've seen. Those are the two gods that I'm really expecting out of the solo lane for Big SB.
Maybe we'll see some Osiris come next week again.
Maybe.
We'll see. Serket going to get banned out. Good one by Deserted. They don't want to deal with the anti-healing of Last Breath. They also don't want to deal with the general buff that she received. A lot of people forget about that. I've seen people going, oh my God, why does Serket just hit me for quarter my HP? Well, 2 stacks of her passive now equal a lot of HP if you didn't remember off of Season 4, the beginning patch notes. So a very quality ban coming out for them. They don't want to deal with that damage. Odin, though, from Optimus Gang, this is I almost would have thought that Optimus would have wanted the Odin, but I definitely understand the ban because they don't have anybody that can get out of the cage either. So I see where they can be.
I guess the question is, where do they really want to put Odin if Optimus Gang picked away Odin here? I mean, I think jungle will be the only real position here, and it looks like they want to take the knockups here. They want to put a Wheelish, and they take a Vulcan for their mid lane strategy here. That's a lot of knockup pressure from Optimus Gang for a Wheelish.
Well, we got the meatball right there for knockups, the pull from Hercules. Apollo does have a knockup, which people do tend to sometimes forget about in his 3 when he rolls out. So we'll see where that ends up going. Then Uller with the jump and so on and so forth. Things should be good. But let's go ahead and get into the game. Optimus Gang versus Deserted. The game is getting ready to start here. Let's see what the teams decide to do.
And that will be a Vamana for Big SB as we move into the action here. So he's going to be that later game carry from the looks of it in another solo lane. So I guess
Vamana, the big baby. I don't even know if you can call him the big baby anymore. He's got this new avatar. Well, he's got a skin. He's still got the baby skin, actually. True. So I still like when people use like Vamana's got a whole new art card, but they still have the old skins that he's a little kid and it's still awesome. So it's just, it's a lot of.
I mean, why is he old now when he can use little Mana?
Yeah.
That's my question.
He's just little Mana. He's still little Mana. It's all the same. So
he's one of those gods. You can change his skin. You can change his look. You can just rework him completely. He will always be the big baby to us, especially whenever he drops the ultimate.
Oh yeah, for sure. He'll be the big baby in the Colossal Fury, as it's also known as its proper name. Both teams pushed up pretty well on some waves on the right hand side. Left hand side, we do see the Kepri getting poked out by Moax, who's doing a little bit of damage to him. Kind of watch out. And otherwise, again, you kind of just see the standard. Let's shove up. Let's see who we can get the pressure on, and let's make a rotation to buffs.
And Fusify is just a beast in that shield, able to walk up and just try to buy time from Moex here. Still takes a lot of poke here, and Moex is going to try to take out the speed buff here. He will secure his own little minions here, but Fusify going to start pushing work on his own here. Because Fanify did shove out the wave here. This should be going the way of
This is an interesting strategy. So this was Kepri just saying, you know what? Hey, I don't really give a crap about the wave. I just want your buffs. I'll let my Apollo push up the wave, knowing that the support was in mid as well, able to kind of go ahead and make that happen. Now let's go ahead and head back to the right-hand side. We do see a lot of fighting here as the Elementals went the way of red. CB, though, was level 1, able to dash out, but all hail Muppets. The substitute, as you had said, gets the first blood, and Well, when you're the sub and you're getting first blood, you gotta be feeling good about yourself.
You gotta feel real good right now if you're Muppets here. Muppets is a fairly dangerous person on this roster here, and it is no surprise he's actually fairly solid on what is considered to be one of the big staple junglers in Smite here. Thor, always been that pick that you have to consider going into things here. Always been that threat, and Muppets showing exactly why it's also going to be a threat for him, going towards another comfort pick and getting first blood.
Well, again, now this is a different story. Last game with New Game Plus, we ended up seeing first blood at like 10 minutes, and it's not that big of a deal. When you get it under 2, as I mentioned earlier, it does obviously give that boost of momentum. All Hail Muppets will be able to go ahead and get those boots a little earlier online. He's got 2,500 gold net worth, about 200 more than the Vamana, obviously, because he shared that first blood. And again, actually, Big SB, he's got CB on the ropes with a beautiful wall from Muppets who stayed, and CB will end up taking the spill. So the solo and jungle on the right-hand side both fall, and that's devastating.
Starting out CB and Dazoni is a very good call here. I feel Dazoni, one of the major players here for Deserted here, and CB, one of his longtime friends and longtime teammates in this action here, taking them both out of the action here and putting a lot of pressure on a Big SB who has been known to carry away games is a huge, huge play right there here. And getting one of your carries online to buy time for the big carry of Moex as well is just going to work out quite nicely for them as they go later and later into the game.
So when season 4, it's one of those games that if you end up losing 1 or 2 kills on either side, now the mid's a little. Oh, Thor's in the air actually. As we'll hold the thought. Here goes the big attempt. Gank not gonna have to, or not miss. Gonna hold, I should say. As there goes the Kraken. Big SB though does get a kill on Squeaky with the rotation, but the Thor ult did miss. The Kraken was on point as Gorgonzola did some work, but Squeaky is the one to fall.
And I said Deserted was going to be hungry. I did not know they were coming out swinging this hard, though, here. 3 kills already at 3 minutes in, and a 1.5 thousand gold lead starting to just build and build and build. Optimus Gang, surprisingly, pretty deep on the back foot right now.
Well, what I was kind of getting before that gank attempt was that's the issue. What we just saw is the issue when you lose the first 2 kills on one side of the map. Those players end up getting to be level 5. They take all your buffs. You're completely invaded on. There's a Kepri that's level 4 again. He's useless. CB now just hit level 5. Everyone now just hitting 5 for the side of Optimus Gang. And it's just too little too late because there's the 3rd kill, and now they're looking for 4 as the wall's good. The double tap might have secured the speed buff, and I think it did for All Hail Muppets as the Zoni is just walking away from it. And Sylvanas is going to pick it up. We have a fast tree.
Yeah, Sylvanas is going to have a speed up here. So that's going to be actually kind of scary here. Sylvanas' one major issue is the fact that he's really slow to rotate here. With that speed buff, he's going to be all over the map here. You're going to have to worry about those Wrath of Terrors coming out of nowhere here. Roots from outside of the jungle.
You got to get the shield of regrowth on Sylvanas. That's the key. You got to get the shield of regrowth on Sylvanas. That's the key. If you're going to play Sylvanas, you got to get the shield of regrowth, the wing blade, steal the speed buff from your jungler, get the Traveler shoes or Talaria shoes, and then you're a fast tree. Then you're good. Then all the mobility is solved. You won't have any protections, but you'll be a fast tree.
Who needs protections when you're that fast?
Who needs protections when you're... Well, the only thing that's missing is an Amaterasu for the speed buff, and then that really would have made Bass a very fast tree. That would have helped out. Did he just miss an auto? He just missed an auto on the big creep because he overshot it.
I still got the kill on the creep.
It's all good. Yeah, it's just funny.
It's funny what happens here. Now Muppets able to secure those oracles solo as well. Deserted doing a really good job just controlling the map right now, and that's honestly the best move they can be making here. Slowly but surely bleed out Optimus Gang, and if they find attempts or picks, certainly go for it here. And now they're going to be the ones actually forcing Optimus Gang to start playing to their tempo here. Optimus Gang got to find some way to actually pull back their own speed.
Well, the positive news is for Optimus Gang, you have an Apollo with the Global Ultimate. You got an opportunity to go ahead and make some strides there. He can kind of stay left or, really anywhere and kind of make moves globally. So there is positives there as Kesp is looking to be, he's level 8, just hit there now. We'll see what he ends up doing. Normally, obviously, I remember Kesp last time. He was a Chronos mage player. So we'll see how this, obviously, Apollo ends up selecting for him. He's just a solid ADC in general, but he was definitely known for his magical carries previously. But no Freya selection today. And obviously, Chronos got that slight nerf with the Hasten Fatalis effect being removed. Not seeing that today right now.
not going to see him probably that often at all. I think we saw him once for Game Hunter last week as well, and played more as a mage, but still pretty solid here as Fusify gets caught. Double tap dealing huge damage to Fusify there. Squeaky G also taking a pretty bad trade of poke here. Optimus Gang just getting shredded out by this poke here, and Deserted can just keep up the siege. They've got enough healing to just keep going and keep poking here, whereas Optimus Gang, if they keep fighting out like this and trading out like this, they're going to trade on the losing end consistently.
Yeah, well, speaking of trades, yeah, I was going to say that was exactly where I ended up seeing. There's the boulder, CB wisely just bouldering the wave. He's like, man, I just got to get on out of here. The pressure's too much. Gold Fury, though, will get started up. Kraken is up for Gorgonzola, and that means the Gold Fury is going to meet that to the face here shortly. As it is getting started up, and we should see it. Oh, it's going to get leased off. Muppets is looking for the double tap. He will secure it. Oh, the knockup is good. This is a potential steal. Optimus Gang do get the Gold Fury from the huge knockup, and CB teleported over to get a kill as well on Gorg. That is a big, big fight. Wow.
Because Spanify stole it with the... He stole it from, like, he just dove in, stole the Gold Fury with the damage from his ultimate there, and that was incredibly well played. The knockup, like you said, bought enough time for the damage to follow through here.
That was really huge.
Well played by Optimus Gang.
Because the Kraken was there to secure, and all of a sudden the Zoni gets a 2-man knockup, and all of a sudden Apollo comes crashing down for the steal and the secure. Well played by Optimus Gang to go ahead and at least get themselves back onto this game. I mean, they're back into it now. Like, now it's not a big deal. 800 gold lead, 2,000 experience. That's a momentum swing, at least for now. They've got to be able to pick it up now and make sure that they're well played. But Muppets might be in the air on the right-hand side looking to gank CB.
Yeah, looking to gank CB. CB should fall here. There's no real way out of first one here. It's all hell Muppets just going to take the action here. CB, at this point, just needs to be able to sit there safely and farm. He does have 2 kills to his name. He does have a Gold Fury gold, like,
he did get both of those kills. He died twice. He's died twice. He teleported and he was like, I got 2 kills, guys, but I died again. So,
as long as he can like get big enough for like the later stages of the game, be that huge monster threat of Hercules.
Yeah, but look how huge Vamana is. Vamana is 3 levels above this Hercules. Yeah, that is not easy to deal with right there. I mean, Hercules will probably be getting the shield of regrowth to go ahead and help him out with his mobility and, you know, get himself some cooldown reduction and things. But still, I mean, Vamana is 3 levels above. That's really where this advantage is, though, guys. If you're looking at this game, I mean, there's a 2,000. Excuse me, I got a little bit of hiccups. About a 2,000 gold differential here, still 1,600, and most of that is on the big SB versus CB because CB's been having a little bit of a rough time in this solo lane, getting ganked a couple times.
From Deserted has come out in that solo lane here, focusing on keeping Big SB going, focusing on getting him up and running here. As Moex, he's going to be that late game carry no matter what we want to do here. Moex is one of the more mechanically gifted, if not one of the most mechanically gifted ADCs and challengers currently, in my opinion. And the man is going to carry, especially on a god that rewards mechanical skills so well, such as Uul. The man is going to carry late game as long as he doesn't get destroyed, and, well, he's not getting destroyed in the duo lane here. They don't.
I like how both ADCs are just respecting each other. They're just like, look, you know what? I actually ended up. I was listening to an Allied stream the other day, and you know, maybe a week ago now, he was talking about, you know, the reason why the SPL is so different in compared to like a casual games is that you see that right there, that 1v1 that game that Moex and Kesport in. The average player in a casual takes that 50-50 fight. And the person that loses that 50-50 fight really ends up hurting his team. Both ADCs understanding that. They literally just backed in front of each other as the waves were completed. None of them really looking to fight individually until they're with their teams because they understand if one of them falls, that could be an issue on that side of the map. So, you know, just quality knowledge. They're like, look, we don't need to die here. We don't need to take a 50-50 fight. Me soloing this guy doesn't mean anything.
Especially since there really isn't much you can actually translate out of getting that kill, other than just really just feeling good about yourself, getting the 1v1. If you can go for the sure trade, sure, go for it. Like we saw Spanify go for there. Trade it out, but he didn't go too deep for these fights here. As we will see Deserted trying to make some extra pressure in the solo lane here. They should catch CB. He's incredibly low. And will
that
the Kraken face there. And now this should be a secured portal demon. Optimus Gang might try to make something happen here, but they shouldn't. They don't really have the burst damage needed here. We do have a first trigger possible here. We do see him up in the air here. Squeaky G should get caught out here. Dives on down, double stun from All Hail Muppets. Spin to win, going to win quite heavily there. But a quick save from Kepri, not buying nearly enough time here. Gorgonzola picks up the kill in his own whirlpool here. Regen from Big SB and the meditate keeping him alive and living big right there. As Zoni couldn't quite secure the kill. Portal demon not needed. They got the kills they wanted, and now they can take the portal demon.
I tell you one thing, Muppets is playing really well. I mean, substitute or not, he's got some very good mechanical skills on this sword. He's played decently. Even saw him earlier just use the Berserker Barrage to immune the knockup from Hercules from the pull. Just solid plays all around coming from Muppets right here, able to go ahead and get the stuns and ults, and really just playing well. Gorgonzola, obviously, on the other side of things, the nice whirlpool. The one thing about Khepri, you know the revive's coming, right? So, a nice revive coming out from Mr. Khepri, but Squeaky G will still end up falling from a whirlpool.
I like the Gorgonzola. Like, I think he went for the timing on the whirlpool, waited for the new for like when Fizify was going to throw out the revive, put it down so Fizify couldn't dash away, couldn't get more space there, and they just had him locked down. The whirlpool was going to take enough times to finish the job as well. So by keeping them locked in place with that cripple, they had a sure thing when it came to the kill as soon as he respawned.
Well, speaking of respawns, the Gold Fury is getting ready to come back up, and she is on her perch. She is on the ground, ready to get taken for any team that wishes for a little bit of gold, as the Big SB and CB are trading out once again. Well, really, this has become less of a trade and more of a one-sided lane, as CB's gotten the best of it. Here comes three members of Blue, though. Optimus Gang looking to see what they can possibly do. Kraken and all ultimates available for the side of Deserted, so ooh, all right. I was gonna say Zoni has to jump out, making sure three members in mid. If he gets picked, I mean that's easily free Gold Fury.
I think the big thing that actually want to look out for though before they go to Gold here is getting Squeaky G off the table here, as we will see a bit of a tussle in the solo lane here. CB actually seemed to trade back pretty good on the big SB.
Then he got knocked in the tower, I'm gonna imagine.
He does still have the colossal form available to him there, so he's going to be able to heal up if he wants to. But at the same time, good luck. Good luck.
Oh, well,
dying here.
I'm gonna imagine that was a level 15 Vamana. He was like, "Oh, Big SB was like, I'm gonna go ahead and play around a little bit." Gets plucked, pulled under tower, take a couple shots, but the man's got a full breastplate. Just bought his hide of the urchin, and he was probably okay, and he was fine. But look at this, like on the left hand side, look at the control of wards level at 13 minutes in the game, and none of these teams even have the ward chalice at all. But the vision control from Red is just insane around here. They've got every single little alleyway covered. They know exactly where everybody's walking to, and that's huge for this store to be able to go ahead and get these gank attempts off.
I think we saw how important it was in the last game of the last set actually here, due to the fact that like there was so much vision available for New Game Plus here, and they were just choking away their opposition from being able to actually get anywhere near the Fire Giant pit. They were able to sneak away a free objective, and there was nothing Dia could have done about it here. Deserted, they want to try to get that advantage here with the gold lead they're building up here, and Optimus Gang, they know they can't afford to let that happen here, so they're putting a lot in these wards here to counter back with the wards here. Fusify did get pulled into a whirlpool here, but Fusify, not an easy target to crack.
Yeah, no, I mean he's level 9, just still kind of tanky. He's got the sovereignty line, and obviously the passive shield of Khepri is very, very useful. So he will be able to survive. Again, now really the way back in. I mean, Optimus Gang, they had a chance. They got the Gold Fury steal. They pretty much tied it up, and now Moex is looking to play aggressive here as he knows his team is around at least for any sort of gank attempts. But again, everyone's kind of hanging around this Gold Fury, and it seems like the bait is on. Deserted, they've got the advantage and they're looking to push it, but it does look like Thor's going to back. Optimus have to figure out a way to defend this Gold Fury one more time and keep it away from the other team.
Because they have slowly but surely fallen behind since that attempt here, as Deserted have just started just completely squeezing them out of every opportunity here. I think we can see them go for a steal once again here, as they do, like we said, they have Vulcan available. The Earthshaker is going to destroy that objective if they get a chance at it here. We saw huge knockups come through from Squeaky G as well, and if Tizoni finds one from the backside, it could happen again. There's a lot of steal potential here for Optimus Gang, and Deserted have to be very well aware of that here. They're going to look to pick Fusify, but they don't follow up fast enough here, and Fusify will dash away here, but that saves them from some easy pick potential of Khepri.
Well, the vision at least goes over to the side of Red, so they'll know exactly what's going on. That's a free ward. Can't get rid of that at all, so it doesn't really matter if Blue even puts a ward there or not. As again, it looks like Fusify will end up backing here. On the right-hand side, Design, I don't really know where a Wheelix is going. You're not going to kill the big-ass B. I don't care if he's at a quarter HP or not. You're probably still not going to kill him, so you might not want to go that way, Wheelix, and he's level 17. This is a very fed Vamana that you don't want to deal with at level 13, so staying in the middle lane is the wise choice.
2-0-5, sitting happy and healthy at level 17.
Well, you know who doesn't want to stay is, well, Muppets. Muppets is like, hey, I'll go ahead and continue to feed my solo laner. Yeah, I mean, this is where they should be doing gold. This is where I think Optimus, yeah, here they go. They're kind of going toward the left-hand side. If Muppets is on the right, you got to force something left, and they're looking to maybe do that.
Yeah, they're looking for a pick here to set up that gold 3, but they can't quite find it. Optimus Gang almost found boss, but I mean, Deserted knew exactly what Optimus Gang were going to look for there. They put themselves in a position to contest and show presence without overextending themselves and possibly getting caught out here. But Dazoni facing the wrath of a very, very fed All Hail Muppets. Look at his health bar. That's from one combo over the wall.
Yeah, the Zonion's gonna have to go ahead and back up. The positive though is Bluestone, or not Bluestone, I should say Booma's Mask does do a good job of healing people in the jungle, so he should be able to clear out some of these camps. Speed buff coming back up, and he should be able to get the other camps as well. So he should be okay when it comes to the health department. Maybe able to make a fight here in the mid lane if needed after he gets his speed.
I'd say try to look for it here. Stop putting pressure on the solo lane here. As CB, I feel he's tanky enough to like survive most gank attempts here. He's reached that critical mass of like, okay, you can't really kill Hercules unless I make a major mistake. So I don't think we'll see CB make that major mistake as long as he stays out of his own head. And going for Portal Demon, I like this call from Optimus Gang actually here. They should get interrupted, especially with your Sugar available here. That would be a secure Portal Demon here. And Optimus Gang starting to pull back a little something.
Yeah, well, again, they needed it. Gold Fury is still an objective that's on the board. It's a positive that hasn't been given up yet, but Portal Demon being secured does give them a way to get back into things pretty quickly. Now, you got to watch out, Zona. Yeah, I was going to say Muppets was right there. I mean, a couple seconds slower, or he's a little faster, and all of a sudden that might be a wall as you exit the portal. And here goes CB one more time. Well, he might be at that critical mass of tankiness, but not for a 2v1 as Muppets continues to stay in the solo lane.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't see the Thor coming from above here, don't even hear it, you're going to get destroyed there. They need some more by the fire time.
But where was Muppets? Where's the Zoni saying, "Hey man, I just saw the Thor"? Like,
true, like, he was mid right there.
Like he was right there. You got to be like, "Hey man, Thor's on the right hand side. He might be looking at speed or blue." You got to tell CB to get out of there, man.
And that's unfortunate there, as we will see Boss get pulled in straight into a Wrath of Terror there. Kraken comes down. Not really doing too much damage there, as Fusify the only one really takes a huge bunch of damage there. Dazoni, actually the one that takes the most there, and just completely back off the fight now. Fusify getting pushed down, and the big SB is the one here to kill here. Squeaky G alone in the dark. Moex finds a snipe for the kill, as Gorgonzola going to get dropped by Dazoni, flipping over him. Does jump away on Suku to safety, but right at the Gold Fury pit, Optimus Gang leave Deserted right where they want to be, at the front of a massive objective.
And I like what honestly Deserted did here. They were like, you know what? Hey, Muppets, you're level 16. You've got some good tower damage on. Let's go ahead and you push up the right-hand side. Vamana, Big SB, you're fed. You're huge. You're tanky. You come on over to the Gold Fury and you help us secure this. And look who got a tier 2 the whole time with that tower damage, Muppets. And look who helped get the Gold Fury on the left-hand side, Big SB. Well drawn out play from the boys at Deserted right there to get both objectives, towers on the right and the Gold Fury on the left.
And Deserted that I was really wanting to see last week, and that we saw glimpses of early on in the first few stages of the game against New Game Plus. This is a team that is communicating incredibly well and playing the game around that teamwork and communication here, not just their own mechanical skill, which
wow,
quite a bit across the board there. That's a big catch on Zoni here.
That ward. He's going up.
Yeah,
Muppets wants it. Muppets is not going to drop this kill. 3, 2, and he should drop in a second. No, he's going to the mid on Squeaky G instead, and that's the old oops, I went that way spacebar as he jumps away.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, but I mean, I gotta give props to the man for being incredibly aggressive.
I thought he was gonna go after Design. I thought he was gonna have the Wheelix. I thought he was not gonna drop that kill, but he let it go.
I mean, it's a mercy kill. You gotta give him hope. You gotta give him enough false hope there. But at the same time,
well,
false hope could translate into real problems later on, letting his own get away like that.
Yeah, I mean, right now the hope is it's still there. I mean, we're at 8K gold differential, 11,000 experience. I mean, again, this is the territory where you're more or less hoping that the other team throws versus anything, as the Vulcan ultimate was just, I don't know what it was there for, as the purification from Gorgonzola is good, not going to get pushed back. He's still at about half HP, but he should be able to get healed back up. Whirlpool got that Gem of Isolation and Hasten Fatale, so you got to watch out for this Poseidon. He's going to be annoying to deal with. The two-man knockup secured the wall into the Kraken, though.
Kraken is good there. Will force his own incredibly low here, but he pulls out his target. Gorgonzola going to be the first one to get picked off in this team fight here. Moex is currently dueling off with Expandify, so we can't rotate over either. That's a clean pick for Optimus Gang, and that's exactly what they want to keep finding.
Well, that's one. Let's see if they can go ahead and get at least 5 more to maybe tie this game up without giving up one themselves. They want to try to come out on the top of these team fights at least 2-1 in the favor of things. Squeaky G is on the wrong side of the wall right there. Not going to matter too much. CB is looking for any sort of pushback right there. You see the old Hercules is, that's the old, you know, I'm walking towards you, I want to push you damage, and everyone just walks away. Muppets is in the air. They got to spread out. They're all grouped up in the mid lane, though. This is kind of dangerous. He might get 2 or 3 here on top of them, but Actually, no. Did he go? Wait, did Muppets not? Oh, Muppets did not. Yeah, he used the
They
ult
don't
another
go
way.
fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't
he
want
went
to go for
back.
a
Yeah.
fight there. They want to poke out a bit more here. It was really risky to go for that, so I do approve that decision here. But Big SB in really deep, trying to grip him up for a possible fight, but I think he's going to want to get out of this one before anything gets any too dangerous. They don't have access to the Anvil to Dawn from Thor. They don't really have any of their big engagements available, as Boss was forced to use his Wrath of Terra to prevent a dive at the tier 1 hour, like earlier. So honestly, there isn't really much of a fight possible for Deserted unless they find some poke or find a pick to kick things off here. So he's a fight, takes a big chunk of damage here, and will force it to meditate here. So now Optimus Gang are in a bit more danger. Wave instantly cleared up by CB here, but the big minion still standing strong here. Mox picked, but has a purification
It
instantly
seems like
there.
everyone has beats.
Everyone is ready for that block.
Everyone's got the beads ready for CB. Now he's got two of them. Blink in. 3-man ultimate going to come through. The Kraken on top of Kess. Doesn't matter. That gets nullified by the Aegis. But Gorgonzola is still going to find himself a kill with the Whirlpool. And now Gorgonzola gets pulled in by Dazoni. He feather steps around. Doing everything is the Wheelix. But it does look like he's in a little bit of trouble. Juking left. Juking right. Over the wall. He decides to go. Moex is going to chase it. He wants the 1v1. But it does look like he's going to end up retreating as he sees the rest of the team coming around. Moex might have put himself in a bad situation, but it just looks like he's trying to get to the wave now at this point. Nice stun!
That was a good
Ooh,
stun.
I thought he was going to get it.
That was really close. I thought it might have. I don't want to put him in danger here, but the pull from Dazoni is still uncooled on there. He was still safe-ish. Big SB now going to teleport in here, and that stun is going to be the big lesson for Mox here. So despite being a little bit deep in that fight, Mox going to be in position to steal away a blue buff alongside Big SB and instantly translate over to the Demon.
Oh, Portal Demon is now completed. Should give them an opportunity to come on back through, buy, and get everything going on. Let's take a quick peek at what we got going on here. Golden Hand is about 2,000 for a couple for CB, but actually Red, even with that Portal Demon, don't really have a lot going on, or to say, and they're going to go ahead and just kind of still keep up the farm. They're just taking the objective off of the map at this point in time.
Yeah, better than doing nothing right here. Just look for whatever advantage you can. Start thinking ahead. As now Optimus Gang, they are still about 9k down. Deserted, where are they going to have to go to actually start closing out this game here? Is Optimus Gang doing a solid job of just keeping Deserted at an arm's length away and preventing them from getting too much so far?
Well, something similar to what happened last game. New Game Plus had a ton of vision at the Fire Giant. I think that's going to be the big key for Deserted to go ahead and close this out is get vision down below the Fire Giant, find out where the enemy's coming from, make sure you know all the angles and all the little alleyways that they could be coming, make sure you force that FG and get off of it when you need to get off of it. That's the big key. A lot of times people just stay on the Fire Giant way too long, especially AD carries. I have a tendency sometimes you get so focused on trying to clear out the Fire Giant, you're like FG, 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 and then all of a sudden you forget to get the kill. That's really easy, and then you got Wheelix that takes it over the wall with a 3 or something like that. So you got to be careful. But it does look like Gold Fury's the call, and well, Kraken was the answer.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time, buddy. As we will see, all hell Muppets catching 3 out there with the Anvil to Dawn here. Instant revive from Kepri onto himself. Refusify going to burn out and fall as Moex secures the kill here. Zoni pulls over Moex to the party as well. Biggest speed goes into the big baby here. A double kill from Moex. They are on a rampage now, looking for more. Almost find the Sonic Spanify here, but Spanify going to survive. He's actually trading out real well here, but it's not a 1v1 here. He's going to get caught out by 3 members. Throwing out the damage is Gorgonzola here, but they've got better prey to catch. They have better gold to be found here. They're going straight for the Gold Fury and the Jungle Bus instead of chasing down kills.
Well, Kesp is just, he hasn't been able to really, other than that Gold Fury steal and in that ultimate by GF earlier, it's just been the show for Deserted. I mean, 0-0-3 is Kesp. He just hasn't been able to really get involved in these team fights the way you'd want your AD carry to get in there. As just, again, CB's getting dove on. I mean, Wheelix is trying to do her job. Vulcan is just getting dove on. It's a rough game right now for these guys. And Kesp has just been in this dual lane just trying to push up the entire time.
And honestly, I'm not sure where you're going to go from your freight. As an ADC, when your team's in this kind of situation, you've got the experience of where you really want to go for it. What do you think you should be doing right now?
You got to just pray that your team doesn't get blown up in the 4v4, and you got to just keep this Uller Moex. You got to be like, look, guys, you got to farm up, slow the game down. There's no tier 2 tower on the right-hand side. This is what makes it so devastating at 25 minutes is the lack of map control that Blue does have. It makes it harder to come back. But if you're the ADC and you're down, especially if you're a Apollo, you're like, I'm just going to keep pushing towers, and I'm going to make them respect me. Maybe if 2 people come over this way, you can win the 3v4 fight, and then that is an opportunity. But that's really about the only way to come back is keep Kesp in the left lane, keep forcing the split push, and then find the 2v1s like this Moex. But there goes another Kraken from Gorgonzola, and he is lighting it up with this hasten Fatalis. It doesn't matter. The kill return is not going to happen, as Muppets is going to get the... Oh, the double tap is going to connect, but the revive was so good.
1 second too earlier. The revive was about to fall off here, but unfortunately Muppets just timed it just a little bit too early right there, and Fusify will save Caspanify before he can fall there. So close there, and a good play there from Caspanify there as he secured the kill onto Moex. Hold on,
Needed to happen. I mean, that needed to happen.
Exactly what Optimus Gang need right now.
Well, again, taking out Moex is the AD carry. That's going to be a lot of their objective damage. Obviously, Muppets does have a very damaging base build. Hydras into Brawlers into the Titans. So this man is also swinging. Let's not be kidding ourselves here. But obviously, Moex is going to be the real dower damage. And now, again, you have Kesp. He's just going to push up. He does have ultimate available. He should hopefully be able to at least get this tier 1 tower. With Moex down for 10 more seconds, you expect a free tier 1 with Fire Giant getting attempted maybe over here on the right-hand side. Let's see how they decide to handle this.
I think he's got enough damage here. They might try to ask him to just push a little bit further while the Fire Giant is being currently in the middle of a big dance-off around him. Excuse me here. So I think they're just going to try to exploit as much pressure as they can out of Caspanify here. At this point, he and Moex are fairly even when it comes to the items and levels, so they can duel against each other without too much of a threat here. So this is a good potential split pusher here. Instead, they're going to try to call back Caspanify from the looks of it here and get ready for this fight as... Oh, Deserted pushing up really hard here. We'll catch on the zoning here, but he's got to leap away to safety here. CV really deep.
Apollo's ulting over now, finally.
Big SB here. Apollo coming in and join the party as the only person caught out by the Earthshaker is Big SB, and he barely took any damage up there. Muppets looking for his action here. 2 targets flying around in the air, ready to dive and dip here, but nobody get caught out by Muppets there as Zoni had already fled. The rest of Office Gang had split up here. Gorgonzola caught, but Purification immediately burned before he pulled away. And a lot of cooldowns being burned, but no blood being drawn just yet.
So we do have 2 global ultimates that got used. Kesp was able to come over this way. They unable to find a kill with that ultimate, but the Thor was also used. So that's, I mean, again, that's a couple ultimates. You're not really expecting Apollo to do too much. There's the blink in, though, by Bass. That's going to be a 2-man knockup / ult. Squeaky G is getting wrecked by the big SB. 1 more auto attack, and he'll end up falling, but he's got the revive. Moex cleans up 1. Big SB cleans up the second one. Squeaky G falls. And this is not looking good as this Vamana, he's got a hasten Fatalis. He's going old school, boys. It's got pen on it. It's doing some work.
Yeah, channeling his inner game hunter and just pushing forward for the fight here. No pen to be found today here, but it doesn't quite matter. You got a Phoenix, and that is exactly what you want. Don't need Fire Giant. Don't need any of that here. Bigger and better objectives here. As it looks like I think Deserted want to go to try to end this right now for some reason here. They're pushing forward. There's only 2 standing left, and they have 15 seconds on CB. They have a ton of damage. They could actually pull this off here. Gorgonzola is going to just melt through the zone here, and Big SB will finish the job. Yeah. This Titan getting absolutely destroyed here. 29 minutes in. Deserted going to pull off their first win of the circuit here, and do it in a very convincing fashion against Optimus Gang.
Yeah, they did a really good job. Deserted just early, got that first blood, and that was kind of the tone setter. Once you got those first 2 kills kind of back-to-back, able to really dictate the pace of the entire game. No matter what Optimus did, they just weren't able to find themselves on the right gas pedal. They were just trying, and they did good things. It wasn't like Optimus got wrecked. They just got beat early, and it's super hard to go ahead and make that comeback playing against good teams, and that's going to be game number 1 out of this 2-game set.
And I think the big thing here is that Optimus Gang are going to need to just not lose so much in the solo lane and jungle early on here. Big SB getting so far ahead was massive in these team fights here. It enabled him to just walk in and do anything he wanted in these fights here. And if your backline can't safely fight, especially if you have Squeaky G on and a mobile carry like Vulcan, you're not going to find much pressure, unfortunately.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for us here on High Res TV. I hope you are enjoying the Challenger Circuit. If you're looking to stay with the SPL, that's going to be on High Res TV. If you're looking to see what's going on in this last game of the Challenger Circuit, please join us on the Tier Monster stream, as that will be going on, and we will finish up this second game of the second set right here shortly. Again, my name's Freight Train. Souza is joining me as well on the desk. So again, we hope to see you guys in the next couple minutes as we get ready for game number 2.